We're allowed to talk, Elena. You're just going to edit it out.
Not this time.
Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hi, it's Elena.
And Michelle. Catbus!
It's true. So you can see this final, that it looks pretty cute.
Yes, I want to see
agree?
its face.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see the end. No, but I had this, it's not really like a trivia game, but it is like I don't know, the modeling of this Catbus was really rough, and it took a long time for it to get looking nice. And so I was thinking, Shell, like, if there come points in the video where you're just like, Elena, I just don't see the end in sight, then I'll know, like, pop a little end photo on the screen, like, at that time you say anything. Like, I won't be able to do that for you right now as we are. I'll be able to do that for the viewers. So that you're like, I'll know based on your reactions that it's like, oh, she doesn't believe in me. Like, she can't believe that this can turn into a cute little final thing. Just tell me at that point to put a final image up so that other people can benefit.
Okay.
I'll just do it.
I don't know when that moment will come.
I mean, do you believe in me right now? Because this looks pretty rough.
I'm kind of wary. Looks like a hairbrush.
Oh.
Or
so
toothbrush. The short toothbrush.
It certainly
with a tooth on the front.
Uh-huh.
Is that too many legs?
No, I counted a lot of times. Also the window. I also counted the windows a lot of times. And it seems like there are certain little things of reference that don't match. Like, sometimes there are different legs, or I think there are certain times when there are a different number of windows. So, good luck to me, but I had to decide on a number and stick with it.
What was the number?
I think that there's one extra window compared to how many legs there are on each side. Because I wanted it to be 1-to-1, like put a window right up above where a leg would be. Mm-hmm. It's not like that.
But you might have done.
I might have done. Does anyone know what that's from?
I do.
Put it in the comments if you know. Or I'll put it in the description just so that people don't have to know if they don't want to know. No one's watching this.
Are those toes?
They are.
Oh my gosh, each one has to have toes?
Yeah, it's fine. You make one leg and then you just copy it a bunch of times.
And you just go shoo shoo shoo. Mm-hmm. Do you know ahead of time that you're going to do the shoo shoo shoos? You described it in that way.
Yeah. I think that I'm able to not... I was really careful when I was editing all this footage. I didn't really want to skip around too much, so I don't think I do any shoo shoo shoos. Because it is easiest to hide it when I'm, like, doing a big thing of toggling a few times, so that it doesn't make a shoo 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 sound in my head. Gosh.
I think that was a question I had, and I never been able to insert it into regular conversation until now.
I see. I don't really have anything to talk about that relates to Catbus, or to Totoro, even.
What do people call it? Do they call it Totoro? Do they call it MNT?
What's M&T?
My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh!
I guess people do not call it that.
It's not.
Or do they call it My Neighbor? Like, what's the shortened, or do they just call it what it is?
I think it's just Totoro.
They just call it Totoro?
Yeah.
I feel like we were never so favorited by this movie.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have, like, a cutesy name.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I didn't watch this until, I think, college. Same thing goes for Prince of Egypt, which always seemed like I was really late to that bus.
You love Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, and I didn't watch it until college. And I didn't watch Avatar until college either. And just for the folks who are curious, like, I'm an animation major, so a lot of people, it's like they became animation majors because of Avatar, and it's like 18-year-old Elena was just like, who? But it was alright because Michaela also didn't know, and that was the basis of a friendship forming between me, Michaela, Taylor, and Emma.
Cute.
It's like sometimes I quack out people's names, but I don't think I need to because I didn't say anything mean.
This face. How is it going to be a cat face?
It's alright. Like, I started low poly, just getting the general shape down. I don't want to make it higher definition until I get the silhouette correct. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, since we don't really have anything to say about Totoro, we could, I made a note to ask you about something regarding Xenon.
Oh, no. It's so random.
Yeah, I was just remembering there was a scene, because, like, she's from space, but then she visited Earth and she was having like swim class and she was being so braggy, like, oh, I'm so good at this. But then she struggled, and her excuse was like, oh, well, this is just different from how it is in space or whatever. But I couldn't remember, like, was she sabotaged or was it just that she wasn't really a good swimmer if it was water?
I think her swimming, I'm using my quotes with my fingers, her swimming in space was just spacewalking.
Oh.
So it would be different with just water.
Okay.
But also, yeah, I think she just sabotaged herself because she should know. Because she walked off the plane and was like, gravity is a real thing. And so why would you think jumping into a pool of water when you haven't experienced that would be easy peasy?
I guess. Why did she go to Earth to begin with?
She was in trouble, and they were having, like, a boss come in to check on how well they're doing on stuff, and she just kept getting into trouble and doing stuff that they're like, okay, we got to get rid of this problem child, so they grounded her, in air quotes again. So she had to go stay with her aunt on Earth, so that I think they were, like, part of, like, a science team or something, that their research was important to not be messed up while these important guys were there.
I see. And then what was the rest of the conflict of the movie? Is just like her getting used to Earth?
Well, the real thing was those people that were coming up to be like, yeah, your thing, let me fund you some more money. They were actually bad guys, and they were going to make the spaceship crash or, like, fall out of orbit, I think.
All the people on it, though.
I know, right?
Oh, my gosh.
So Xenon had the code. Yeah, she took a disc. I haven't seen this in years. She had a disc that had whatever information on it that she was just using as jewelry. Oh. So she took that with her. She had it and she made it into earrings.
Oh my gosh. That is like Our Lips Are Sealed.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So she figured out what they were doing, and she needed to go up and fix it so they weren't going to crash. Because stuff was failing, and they had to, like, jettison other parts of their spaceship to, like, preserve their air and whatever. So she had to win the protozoa. Why do I know that name? She had to win the contest. Or no, she already won when she was there. Okay. But she met the guy, and she wanted him to take her to the space station.
Hang on. Oi, 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 right?
Yeah, oh my guy.
Oi, 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 it's Xenon. Yes. Kevin and Michelle used to torture me with that. I remember being little and then, like, following me around the house saying that, and I hated it.
I remember teasing you about it, but I didn't remember why.
I think it was just irritating. Like, you guys kept doing it, and it was
We only did it because you were irritated.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you learn to just, like, if you're bothered by something, don't let anyone know. That's why I'll never have a conversation with anyone about being bothered, because then I know they'll just keep doing it.
It's true.
So protozoa.
Yeah, so she had won before, so he knew of her face. So when he's about to go up to the space station, she, like, meets him there, and she's like, oh, take me with you. And he's like, yeah, you're the one that made that cool statue of me. Let's go. And so
Didn't she make it out of trash?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, like, the trash wasn't really trash. It was, like, fabrics and cool, spacey stuff. It wasn't, like garbage and messy garbage.
Okay. He was British, too, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Was he a celebrity, like, in real life?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, so she goes with him.
And then she saves the day.
Okay.
And then he's there for a concert, and then he sings, and it's all good.
Fun. I remember Raven Simone is in it for a hot second.
Yeah, her actress is replaced, though, in the next one.
Oh, no, She's too good for Xenon to come back for it?
I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, it's funny that Xenon's, I imagine all of them are on Disney Plus now. But when I had seen it on Disney Channel when I was a kid and then wanted to see it again, you couldn't. You could never see it again. It did not exist anymore.
Exclusive.
I think I may have tried to get, like, VHSs or DVDs of them off Amazon before it was this kind of Amazon now. Gosh. Yeah, it was just impossible to watch things that weren't things.
Totes. Yeah, I felt really proud.
The Dark Ages.
I felt proud for finding that. Like, speaking of Our Lips Are Sealed, the other Mary-Kate and Ashley movie we watched recently, It Takes Two, that, like, I Googled on my phone and I found just a little link to it. It's like, dang.
Which feels so dangerous nowadays.
Yeah, it does. But it worked.
Yeah.
No consequences. And you could cast it. Yay.
Yes.
Gosh, Our Lips Are Sealed, though. I don't know. Like, I don't think that we watched Actually, no, you ordered a lot of those, so I think you've seen a lot. I've seen very few.
When you could still deliver the Netflix, you picked out some and they'd be in your queue, whatever, and they'd ship them out. That's when I got a lot of those Mary-Kate and Ashley's.
I think you aged yourself just and talking about, like, older Amazon ordering. Gosh.
It's not that old. It's not 40 years
2000, oh my goodness. Eric is my one loyal subscriber.
I was talking about my husband.
Okay. You know what? I'm discounting my other loyal person who watches my videos but does not subscribe to me, Mom. Mm-hmm. I would be more loyal if you were subscribed, Mom.
Is she not subscribed?
I think she doesn't have an account.
Oh, I see.
Like, she can't even like my videos because she'd have to log in.
But I think she likes some in real life more than anyone else could.
Yeah, certainly. She has mentioned how we talk about Verm a lot, but I feel like we talk about her more. Mm-hmm. Mom.
Has Mom seen these movies?
The Studio Ghibli ones?
Yeah.
She's seen a big number of them because I was obsessed at that age. So I know
I know we lived with her and we watched them, but I don't know if they were really that iconic to her. Yeah. I'm sure Kiki would stick with her.
Kiki. I feel like I have a memory of her being in the room when Nausicaa was playing. And I don't think that she'd have any memory of Totoro because we didn't really watch that. Because there was just one scene where they're taking a bath as a family, and I just couldn't. I didn't want to watch that with my family.
But Spirited Away, I'm sure Mom's seen that one because you used to watch it a lot.
Certainly, yeah. I remember I first saw that when I was at Vanessa's house, and I felt, like I said last time, like I felt kind of late to the party with that one, but I was still I was in 4th grade when I saw it. That's not very late at all, but I don't know. I wish I had seen it earlier, and it was
But I mean, the fact that we were introduced to any of them was pretty cool. The local movie guy, he downloaded them and burned them onto a couple DVDs for Elena.
Yeah,
it was so sweet and unnecessary. Just a nice guy. We were there too often, and he was nice to us.
Yeah, very nice. It was walking distance from our house.
We always bought candy too.
Yeah,
we were good customers.
It was it wasn't Blockbusters. It was just local person owned, and I think it was
completely video.
Yeah, and it was $1 per video or $2, or maybe $2 for a DVD maybe. Yeah, it was just really nice. Gosh, we had some neighbors.
We did.
Gosh, I remember Adams Avenue, that's where it was, also had it was a mini fabric district, which I didn't realize.
Yes, we didn't find that until very late.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. And I think it was 2 levels, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The entrance was this, really fun cobbled, those fancy, old theaters, cobbled outer entranceway. It was beautiful.
It's a cool place. And only as an adult are we sewing things more often, or do we know how to sew things? It's when I was little, I think that Mom must have gotten me little I don't know, half yards so I could make something for my doll. But I don't know if I even did, because I don't know, it's even throughout college I look back on some of the shirts I have that I I took them in a little bit, but it's I didn't sew them properly. I see that they're they didn't fall apart or anything, so it worked, but I know that the way I sew now is a little more, with more knowledge. Even if I still don't really know how to use a sewing machine, I know hand sewing techniques.
Much better than I do, and I have a sewing machine. If you have one of those, you maybe get too spoiled. What's the word for that? Complacent.
Dumb.
Just privileged. I don't have to sew with my hand.
Gosh. Oh yeah, so this, I can't believe we've gotten this far into the video, because now we're at the cute enough phase. You won't have to say, I don't believe you'll make it.
I had faith the whole time.
Oh, gosh. Wish you wouldn't.
You wanted me not to, but I know what you can do.
Okay. Well, now we're getting to this point where it's looking at the reference, it took me a really long time to spot them, but there are little mice on the Catbus's, the tops of the body that have blaring big, headlights for eyes.
I had no
idea. Yeah, so I think that I noticed it more so when I had watched the movie, because I saw them in motion, but just to see quick little screenshots, I didn't see them for a while, so finally got those down. Making a cute little mouse. No big deal.
I love mouse ears. The kids. Someone was talking about Mickey Mouse.
Oh.
And I feel like Avery was trying to describe Mickey Mouse without saying Mickey Mouse.
Oh.
And Felicity was trying to say, Mickey Mouse looks like a person. He looks like me. He has my ears.
Huh.
I don't know.
What was she thinking?
I don't know. She like tuned into the conversation and had some gems.
Cute. Gosh, I feel like she had other things that she said this week that were funny.
Gosh, she just won't stop saying it, but she will look at us. What did she say? Like, you look further away, even though you're close.
Yeah, I
heard her say it to Ryan today.
Yeah.
And she keeps saying it to me.
She's saying that this week, but I remember that she was saying that a couple of months ago, too, for a little while. And then she phased out of it. But it's like, is that something that was said at her eye doctor appointment?
No, I mean, the last time we were at her eye doctor was in September, I think.
Gosh, why is this on her mind?
I don't know.
Silly goose. You know, I brought the inside is...
Yeah, are you gonna, like, make seats? Or is it empty?
It's an interesting thing, because in some of the reference it looks like there are seats, and some of the reference it looks like there are not. So I decided I would just make my life a little bit easier. I don't care. I want to make the outside of it look nice. I didn't need to make the inside of it do anything.
You're not going to model Totoro and put him inside?
No!
It's like you just have to be small to make it. You can make him small. That's easy.
Oh my goodness! Just because you're making something small doesn't mean it's easy.
I mean, I can do it, and I'll just send it to you.
I mean, I wish you would. Anyway, this is an interesting little task that I did, because like we've been saying, Totoro isn't one of the ones that is the nearest and dearest to our hearts. But Eric asked me if I would make it, so I did. And then I spoke to him a couple weeks after I sent him the file, and he was like, yeah, I haven't even opened it. So, like, no one actually cares, it turns out. So I think, well, I don't know, even if we're talking some junk a little bit with our apathy, I hope that other people who do like it came to watch and can say, like, no, here's why you should care. Or just say, like, oh no, I remember, like, I hold it really fond in my heart because yada yada. Tell us your fun childhood of watching Totoro.
Yeah, we're not trying to knock it. We just don't love it as much as we love, like, Kiki.
Yeah.
Because we grew up with Kiki.
Yeah.
So if you grew up with Totoro, tell us your fond stories.
Totes. And don't be scared of how crunkly the face is looking. I'll fix it. Have faith. Gosh, but when I was making this, because it was so rough for so long, making the face, trying to make it look right and all that stuff, and the proportions are so odd, and even though I don't show it on the screen, like, I had reference pulled up so that I could make sure that everything lined up correctly, but it was so tricky, and so all the while that I was modeling this, I was, like, planning my little short videos that I'll make for it. Because one of them, it just, I was just hearing the audio in my head of this one video you sent me. It was a silly prank of, like, some woman just got her eyebrows done. But the eyebrow beautician person, she, like, left all the extra ink on so it would look like big block brows. Anyway, so it was, like, one of the things that she says is, like, it's not that bad, and the woman is like, it's not that good. Anyway, so it's like, you'll see one of my shorts.
Nice.
Gosh, it was just so rough. This is finally being okay, but it took so long.
I had faith the whole time. Because I saw the end result.
That means nothing.
Uh-oh, Momo wants in.
Oh, open the door. This one's
Lena's been waiting for her. Hi, Mom.
Zoomed in like a cat out of hell.
She took your spot.
Goodness gracious. And then, like, when the kitties get close to the phone, they like to brush their faces against it and unbalance my phone. They're considerate like that. Gosh, I remember the first time I met the cats, they always get wary about strangers. But I remember your apartment had to be inspected because you were moving out, and I was helping you move, and you just had to lock me in the room with the kitties. They were, like, in one corner scared of me. We've gotten better since then. They like me.
It's weird because they liked Mom right away.
Mom?
Well, it's like when we moved over from Montana, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Nana's house. And I remember, you guys already had a cat that had free reign of the house. So I had my kitties locked in that tiny little room with me at all times. And I remember that I wasn't even there. I think I might have been working. And Mom had come in and was just laying on the bed, petting the kitties, and they were totally fine with her. Just right, that was their meeting, was me moving to the house, because Mom hadn't met them yet.
Gosh.
But they were totally fine with her since the beginning.
That it's like a D&D term I know. It's like she has a advantage in animal handling. She has a natural affinity for them. Because I feel like that happened with what is it? Sally's dog was like on Mom's lap.
You fell asleep on her.
Yeah.
Too.
So Mom just has a calming presence. I think it's too that like she doesn't get like desperate for animals' attention. Like if they don't want to be around her, she doesn't take it personally, and she doesn't like try to entice the animals. She just like lets it be. Wish I could be like that, but I always get frantic about it. Like, but I love it. I want to be hugged.
Chase it around the room.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I didn't.
Whiskers?
Whiskers.
Oh.
It was, I think, one of the last things I added, and I was really close to forgetting it entirely.
Yeah, it makes a statement.
Totes. Gosh, I don't really have any other notes for us to talk about except for this one thing that doesn't relate at all.
Oh.
But I just think about this sometimes because like there are times in our videos, I feel like we're getting better at this, but it's like sometimes it's hard to think about what to say next, and we get kind of nervous about like, oh no, this silence has gone on for about 4 seconds. This is the end of the world. Anyway, but then I always feel like a tug on my soul when we get to the end of the video, when it's just showing the final preview, the little render, and it's just like, well, now I have things to say. Like, we can't end things now. And so, like, my little end parts of the video...
Oh, the mouse has whiskers.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. But yeah, like, oftentimes my videos will have, like, a full minute for the little end screen of the render because we just suddenly had extra things to say. And that's super typical of our family. Like, whenever we're talking on the phone with anyone, I've always had it in my head as like, I need to start saying my goodbyes with 20 minutes to spare because that's how long it will take, because as soon as I introduce the subject of goodbyes, then it'll be like, well, no, this important thing happened, I need to tell you. Like, and that's what happened.
Yes.
Because, yeah, Shell and I called our brother Kevin the night before my birthday, and we talked for over an hour, and then he had to call us back because there was one extra thing on his mind. What was the extra thing? Can you remember?
He saw Aaron.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Childhood friend.
Yes.
Anyway, gosh,
It was a good story, though.
It was. Gosh, okay. In this coloring, and it was really hard because for a while I wasn't sure how I was even going to render it, so I wasn't sure if I needed to be putting like a kind of textury, like unsmooth texture on this thing to make it look a type of way. But you saw the final render preview at the beginning, like you know what I ended up going for. Anyway, so it was hard to decide on just what I was going to do, but I kept things cartoony for this. But what you won't see is that I was having some big struggles with my drawing pen tablet thingy at the time.
Oh, was this the occurrence?
Yes. So like, okay, like I have a tablet and I had installed it nicely on my Mac, but not really on my desktop. But despite not installing all the stuff, like the installation disk and whatever, on my desktop, it still worked. I could still do everything. It just, I wouldn't have pressure sensitivity. So if I needed to draw something that required pressure sensitivity and all the beautiful...
Is that accurate?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I looked up a picture.
Nice.
I actually had to find a video because there weren't good pictures of it. They were too blurry, and then I paused it right at the perfect moment. So I don't know what that word says. It must be a destination to somewhere. If anyone knows, put it in the comments. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I wrote it as accurately as I possibly could. Did my very best. But
Pressure sensitivity.
Pressure sensitivity. If I need to have pressure sensitivity, I use my Mac. If I don't, for just all my other normal stuff, I use my desktop and it's fine. I'm used to adjusting the size of the brush manually, and I don't really think...
Tiny toes.
Yes!
Further back.
Yeah. Anyway, so finally I was just like, I think I just need to install this so I can have pressure sensitivity on my desktop. And I did, but it changed all of the, like, how you navigate around the screen and, like, toggle around. And so I wasn't able to do that. And I finally had to just, like, uninstall it entirely so I could go back to the default settings without any pressure sensitivity. Oh! Momo's got zooms. Anyway, so part of this video, like, a lot of parts of it were clipped out because I was just like, how do I zoom out? It's not letting me zoom out the way I need it to. And so then I just had to go back to the way I was used to it being. Anyway, back to the subject at hand, because I had something to say about ending phone calls and how we take a really long time. Because, yeah, that was something, I don't know if it really hit me that it was so specific to our family until I heard, and I am going to quack this person's name. Yes. Until I heard ending a conversation with, but it was just like, okay, bye, hang up. How could you
Not even a love you?
Yeah, where it's like, oh, I see you right over there. I'll see you in a second. Bye. Like, what? You're not going to just stay on the phone and talk the whole time while we stare at each other. Anyway, but one time I mentioned that notion to Kevin. I'm like, yeah, I have this friend who does this. And for a couple of conversations after that point, he kept referring to as my weird friend. So, like, it's all about, like, it's all about your own personal norm. Like, I don't know, one of the things that I was thinking about was, like, Momo. One of the things I was thinking about is, like, well, how weird does think I am? Like,
But it's like we're dating. Like, no, you hang up first.
Yeah, it's just constant. Gosh, it was funny because I had mentioned something about, like, last time Eric and I spoke, we had a pretty, like, productive, or just like a, what is the word?
Concise?
I don't know, we said we were going to leave, and then we said bye within a couple of minutes. Pretty expedited.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mentioned that to Mom and Ryan, and they were like, oh man, that's surprising. I'm like, you guys do it too! What are you talking about? Like, we're all guilty of this if we're on the phone with each other. Like, I really don't know for sure if I do this with, like, friends, but within our family clump, I know we do this. Like, don't act like it's like, oh wow, those other ones who do that. Like, no. You too.
Speaking of Kevin, though.
Oh, no.
He denies this, but I feel like we were at this age. It was right after I had moved away. So I was 18, he was 21. He was hanging out with somebody, maybe, like...
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
I feel like he was at a party or something, like, or he was about to be, but I was, we were chatting like normal, and I was trying to say goodbye, love you, and he was like, bye, I love you.
Oh.
He was reluctant to say love you back.
Interesting.
I know.
Wow.
He denies it now, but it was so memorable. It's like, oh, too cool to love your sister? Like, what?
Gosh. I was wrong, by the way. I thought I knew what story you were going to tell. It doesn't relate at all, so I understand why you wouldn't tell the story in my head. It just had to do with Kevin. Your pet peeve of, oh, I was talking to my mom. Or like, oh, I was talking to my friend Emma. It's like, Michelle's thing is like, just say Emma. Just like, I know Emma. You've talked about her before. Don't say my friend. Like, I don't need any context. Just tell me. Because I know Kevin once did that with one of the regulars you guys got. I don't even know who it was. I don't know if you remember either, but you were really irked by it.
Not just pretend irked? Like, actually?
Yeah, because he said it sincerely of like, oh, one of my customers, so-and-so. It's like, we work together. I know who you're talking about. Just say,
I hear everything you hear on the back of your head.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness. Kevin. There was one thing, I was being so polite that I didn't get to say it. When we were at the Whiskers.
At the Whiskers. Oh, okay, got it. I thought you were talking about like a bar or something. Like, what is that?
I've been holding it in but remembering.
Okay.
I've been trying so hard to remember it. But I love that the cat's whiskers are the mouse's whiskers. It's so poetic and sweet.
Aw.
Maybe copy paste that over where it's supposed to go.
I'll really try, but sometimes it's hard.
20 minutes ago.
Like, there was this thing where recently I was trying to think, like, there was something in one of our audio things that I thought I might want to re-record if we could, but it's so hard to, like, match energy, because it's not even just, like, all right, put, like, the phone is right here between us, and, like, we're sitting at this point. Like, no, it's just about, like, oh, are we talking about this thing? Or are we talking about this Kevin doing this? Like, can't match that energy. It's just hard to do it.
Huh.
So that's why we can't re-record little sections of it. Or sometimes it's hard.
Or take audio from something else, yeah.
Yeah, it's a rough cut. So we just have to stay sincere in everything that we're doing. Just keep it all linear.
Yes. But yeah, it's not just phone calls. Gosh, we tried to describe this event with Kevin, and it's never funny. But it was so funny in real life. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say it.
Shut up!
But you know.
You can't leave the people hanging. Okay, let's just try it again for all the people who came to watch Totoro. They can learn about this thing that Kevin did. They're curious.
Because it's still funny. If he does it now, like, it's...
Okay, so there was this one time that we were with our mom and we were just having a really good time, like, and like, Mom likes to remember this night too because she kept pouring us more and more water. So like, we were just like hysterically laughing all night and just having really fun time just drinking water. Oh wait, I'm rigging, by the way.
Oh no.
Here are the bones.
Oh my gosh.
It's just because I need to pose it. I don't want to animate it or anything. I just need to pose it slightly because it's too rigid. Anyway, I might have things to just...
Oh.
Yeah, to make that, they all have to have a root. They need to go to the root of it. I spent a long time naming every joint, so
oh my gosh.
I didn't keep that in because you don't want to see me typing. It took a while. And then I bind the bones to the skin, and that way I can start moving it. Ta-da!
Nice.
And then
it sounds like ship talk.
Fun. But yeah, then I need to paint weights a little bit, which is just because you see some parts that are clipping through or some things that move when they oughtn't move. I just need to paint the weights so that some of the joints have influence and some of the joints will not have influence. Like, see that back part is clipping through? I just need to paint the weights so that it is perfect. And like, some of those whiskers moved. Like, the whiskers shouldn't be attached to the legs at all. Ooh. And like the central, like a center line all through this Catbus.
It looks like the big crack on the top.
Yeah, like, it's because some of those faces are being influenced by the leg joints.
Oh my gosh.
When really they just need to be influenced by the center bone joint. So it's a whole thing. So you're just going to see me painting now for a while. I think I might have something to say toward the end of this process, but for now I can talk about Kevin. So it was just a fun night. We were hanging out, the four of us, and then Kevin...
I feel like it's important to know, like, we were visiting, me and Lena were visiting from out of town.
Oh.
And so we hadn't seen each other in a while, so...
Okay.
We weren't all living together. We were just visiting at Mom's house, and Kevin came over to hang out. I think did he bring California burritos?
Oh, he might have.
And then we had a lot of water.
He might have done. Anyway, so he's leaving at the end of the night, and I think he grabs like a whole pack of water bottles, and he like stands by the door like, well, bye guys, and waves, and we're just like losing our heads about it. And then he does it about 20 more times, like with different things. Like he grabs Mom's like dishwasher soap. Just like grabs the dishwash. Like, all right,
grab the sponge or something.
Grab something, moves to the door. Bye guys. So it's just it's good. Anyway, okay, so I fixed all the leg joints, but then there's this one little spot right in the middle here that it's like, well, what leg joint is still influencing this? And I realize it's because I de-influenced the center bone.
Oh my
so I need to put influence back onto that.
I don't even know what it all means.
It's some rough stuff. I think this is it. Oh!
You did it.
She's so cute. I'm so used to just like gendering flowers or like my sea slug or whatever. It's like we're using ungendered she, I feel like.
It's not about she, the girl's cat. It's about she, the art you made.
Thank you.
All your art is a she.
Yeah. Thanks for understanding. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, we'll see you next time with what?
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be more fan art, but not from movies. This is fine art fan art.
Oh.
I remade an art piece by, I hope I say his name nicely, Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Why do you say it so quiet?
Because I'm nervous.
So no one will be able to hear you.
Yeah. That's the thing, if you don't know the lyrics, just sing quieter.
Yes.
That way they can't say you're wrong.
Or like Lena, you just make your own lyrics, but they always rhyme.
See, this is the conundrum. Now I have a lot of things to say. Because I want to tell the story.
Well, they are just going to have a little sneak peek. Lena's really good at not knowing the words, but making words fit.
So, at the beginning of next video, I'll
Yes.
talk about a lyric I doctored.
Yes.
You'll see.
All right. That was it for tonight.
Thanks for watching.
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum.
Bye.
We're gonna be back in what, like a year? So if you
Kevin.
Look in the mirror when you get in there. I don't know what that is.
stop recording.
You know about it? You just picked it
Damn
from the diabetes. It's fine.